What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Relentless Fit 365. This is your weekly vlog, Friday Live, where we talk about fitness and nutrition and anything else that matters to you to just live a healthier and happier life. And yes, you read the title right. Why am I actually talking about Conor McGregor and pretty boy Floyd Mayweather Jr.? If you're not familiar with that, there's going to be a big, fight, publicity stunt. I don't know, is it going to be real? I mean, obviously they're going to fight, but that's going to, I think, be on August 26th. They've been promoting this for several months. This has been talk for probably over a year. Conor McGregor, if you're not familiar with it, he is a, I guess, lightweight, former lightweight, or is he still lightweight? Someone correct me on that. I think he's still lightweight or featherweight mixed martial art champion, 21-3, I believe, against the undefeated, undisputed Floyd Mayweather Jr. boxing champion, and arguably one of the best defensive skills in the ring in history. Now, that's arguably, I believe, you can probably argue some other boxers had some great defensive skills, but in his time, Mayweather has been really hard to punch, and Conor is known to be a puncher. Now, why is this so important? Why am I talking about it? First of all, these two should not be even compared. You have Conor McGregor, who is a mixed martial artist, so he specializes in multiple crafts, meaning multiple crafts are allowed in his sport, in his fighting style, and he is fighting somebody who has a specific style, boxing, specific craft. And what makes it so interesting is now Conor is going into against someone who is specialized in their specialty, and he believes he can beat him. There's a question as to whether or not this should even happen because he's outclassed. This isn't really a fight anyway. This is a boxing match, and Mayweather, knowing how great of a boxer he is, I do believe Conor is outmatched in this fight. However, the question really is, what gives this man, who's colorful, and I know he talks a lot of smack, I know there's a lot of publicity, and I know major points of it has to do with money, but the principle is still there. What gives him the confidence to think that he can go against somebody who specializes in something that he is not terrific at, and certainly not a seasoned boxer, and go into his own house and defeat him? Is he living in delusional land? Perhaps, in this particular case. Or is it possible? Now, Conor really doesn't have much to lose in this fight, because Conor could always argue, well, I went up against his specialized boxing, and that's why I lost. But he has a lot to gain, because if he goes in and he beats Mayweather, it's like, look, I went into his own turf and I was able to defeat him. So it's really easy to have the confidence. I don't know, you could probably call it clickbait, but this is one of those things that I've had on my mind a lot. It's kind of exciting to me, even though I know this fight is mostly developing publicity just to bring the value of what the ticket costs are up. But I like both fighters, at least in their fighting style. They're both entertaining fighters. They're both entertaining personalities. And it will be interesting to see what happens the end of August when they do go at it. I'm interested possibly to see if you have an opinion on the Conor-Floyd fight. Let me know. But ultimately, today I'm talking about self-awareness, self-belief, deception, or self-deception. What does this have to do with success or failure? Is it wasted energy? Are we lying to ourselves? Or is it really possible to accomplish what many would consider impossible? Impossible in the sense that because somebody else hasn't done it, perhaps it could be defined as impossible. Has somebody ever gone into boxing without being a professional boxer and defeated arguably one of the best boxers in history? And that's never happened. So we could argue that this is close to impossible for Conor to win this fight. I would give him maybe a 3% chance of winning the fight. I like both MMA. I've been watching boxing since I was a kid. I know that the two don't mix. Like, one is a specialty, the other one is mixed specialty. So to go after one craft, that's going to be a tough win. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's close to it. I'd love to get your opinion on the impossible. Are things impossible simply because people haven't done it? Or, when you convince yourself that something is possible, can you do it? And I'd love to get your thoughts on that. I know we're coming into basically coming into the new month, and with a new month brings new goals, new ambitions, new dreams, and I want to use the Connor Floyd thing as a segue into reality for you, reality for your fitness goals, reality for your ambitions beyond fitness, because I've always said, and I continue to believe this, that fitness and your drive and mindset towards fitness have a lot to do with also your success in life, because it's a mindset. And if you have that self-discipline to change you as a person, you definitely have that ability to change the things around you, which in turn can influence, even if it's just a small portion, can influence the world around you. So there's a lot of power to that. However, that same power can be turned inside out, and it can be destructive. So we need to try to, gather some information on whether or not we're lying to ourselves. Is that a good thing? To reach beyond the stars, which could be considered a waste of time. Is that crazy? I don't know. I love your thoughts. Love your workout videos. Wilden, thank you very much. I love doing the workout videos. I'm doing fine. I appreciate it. It's interesting because everybody has a different spirit on Friday, and walking down the streets. It's a beautiful day. It's sunny out. People think about the weekends, and yeah, it's wonderful that's why I decided to do a live early this morning. At least it's morning where I'm at in my neck of the woods. It's like 8:05. So yeah, I don't know. All right, let's go back to impossible. So some people would look at certain things in their life and say they can't do it. A lot of times what we need is the awareness that it is possible by somebody else. It was the 4-minute mile, and I can't remember his name, and forgive me for that. You can look it up, you can Google it, you can post it below. But years ago, it was believed that the human body could not run a 4-minute mile. And then it happened that two Olympic athletes raced each other, and the 4-minute mile was shattered. Ever since then, people have been destroying the 4-minute mile, and there's been records upon records upon records broken. The 4-minute mile was clearly possible, but it just had to be proven that the human can do it, and once it was done, others started to believe. So self-deception. Is it reckless for me to tell myself something is possible when in fact I'm not really sure if it is? And what could the harm be? What could the help be? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I'll tell you mine right now. The worst case, let's just say it's a weight loss situation where a client looks to lose 100 pounds. So it's extreme weight loss. Well, if you shoot for it and you lose 50 pounds, was it destructive? You didn't really meet the 100, but you lost 50. How much would you have lost if you just said, I can't do it? And that's my philosophy in the whole I can't. Well, let's not discard the I can't belief until we actually entertain all the possibilities of what we can do. You hear that sloshing around? Hey, you thirsty? I mean, it's Derek. He drinks like a dog. Okay, moving on. Once you admit a thing all right, so here we go. We're moving on to some comments. Once you admit that a thing is impossible, you have to let yourself you have to let yourself have an excuse for giving up or even failing. And that's very true. When we convince ourselves, we're right or wrong on either instance. And when we convince ourselves something's impossible, we're not going to actually go out of our way to achieve that. So at some point, we've already discarded that idea. But if we at least convince ourselves there's a possibility that we can accomplish it, we're giving ourselves an opportunity to believe. The point I'm trying to make is in fitness, we go through this idea of, I can't lose weight, or I've been focused and dedicated, and I can't find myself to get to the next level. I can't seem to accomplish this. Right away, those thoughts are infiltrating our brain and they're taking over. That's what's piloting our future. And if we're not careful, that very future is going to lead to the destructiveness of not actually achieving our next goal or our next ambition. It's pretty interesting on how we can overlook all of that and achieve things that other people around us didn't think were possible, but we believed it was. And that's what I want to get to. McGregor will give him a run for his money, but he is playing the game, of course. Going back to the McGregor fight, there's publicity in a lot of this. I mean, we all know this is about selling tickets, but I don't know. It'll be exciting to see something like that. Being a fan of both MMA and boxing, like I said, I like to see these two personalities clash. I think it's good for both of the sports. I think it would be almost destructive for boxing if McGregor does win, but I personally would be very surprised if he did. McGregor's a great puncher. He's a great fighter, and there's a difference between that, being a great fighter and being a great boxer, especially when the actual event happens to be boxing. Now, if this were a fight and it was a mixed martial arts fight, we'd be having a different argument between McGregor and Floyd Mayweather on who is the underdog at that point. So yeah, that's a good point. But athletes have proven in many times that they can achieve things that other average people don't believe. And one of the things I guess somebody that comes into mind is Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was fighting George Foreman, and he was the heavy underdog. George Foreman was the heavy favorite, and for the most part, I don't know if it ever crossed Foreman's mind that he was going to lose that fight. He was convinced he was going to win, but the same was true also for Muhammad Ali, and he believed he can win in spite of what people said. Muhammad Ali went in, he surprised people, he played a little possum in the fight, and then towards the end he came in and he finished it up. Muhammad Ali proved to be, the real deal. And he was already the real deal, but he proved that, he probably shouldn't have been the underdog after all. He truly was the superior fighter. But it was a self-belief that he had, a confidence in what he was and his background and where he's been and what he's accomplished in the past. And he used that as fuel to say, I'm going to ignore these outside distractions and I'm going to zero in on my target. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about. And sometimes it's easy for us to get distracted. We look at people we respect. We often go and get advice from people that, we've been close with for years. But sometimes, especially in fitness, especially in your goals, when it comes to improving you, those people may not be the best people to go to for advice. You have to ask yourself, is this person just as interested? Is this person just as focused in fitness as me? And if not, why would I seek their advice as to how I'm going to improve myself? And that's kind of an important point to move on, is that our ideas, our ambitions, our drive, it really does depend on how we truly are piloting our own ship, or captaining our own ship, piloting our own plane, however you want to say it. And I'm a big fan of taking something that seems to be impossible by some people and making it possible. I say that because I got into some discussions this week and along the last couple weeks. I have some clients online that are talking about things they just can't seem to get past. They can't seem to do. And what it truly boils down to is they've convinced themselves it's over. Like, I've tried, and I can't do it anymore. And you know what? It's that point that you stop digging for that little morsel, that nugget of gold that it could have been 3 feet away. I say that because I read a book recently about an insurance an insurance agent. I forgot his name, but I think it was back in the 30s, and he was a really well-known insurance agent, very successful, and he got into the gold business. And so in the gold business, they started to drill. Months into it, didn't happen. I think it was over a year, nothing. They drilled a few more feet, still didn't get it. So what do? They sold all of their equipment to a local machinist who purchased it for practically nothing, and he moved on to insurance where he was very successful. Well, that machinist wasn't a dummy. That machinist actually drilled, he found out where some of the gold was at, went back to the same position that this insurance agent was in, and discovered he was 3 feet shy from striking gold. And the machinist made millions as a result of that. And now the insurance agent knew about this, and I say insurance agent, he was an owner, he was an entrepreneur, he turned out to be a tycoon of the insurance industry. But for the most part, he learned a valuable lesson with that. It's like, well, that idea of not going that extra mile was where I taught myself to be a better person in my industry, to learn from that mistake, to know that I quit right before I could have had success. And I said all that to say this, that we do the same things. We tend to be in a position where we get so close and we're so drained at some point that we just give up. And we don't know how close we are to that success, towards breaking the mold, maybe losing that extra weight that we're trying to lose, or getting to that next pinnacle, and then we quit. And my point is, continue to believe in yourself. Is it self-deception? I don't know, you heard the whole phrase, fake it until you make it. You ever find yourself smiling, but you know you're not really happy? Or you laugh at something, but you're really angry? If you do that enough, it will change your emotions. It will put you in a position where you have controlled your body in such a way that you end up actually embracing that particular feeling, even though you didn't feel that way. My point is, yeah, I think we can deceive our body and our minds into actually being better than we were supposed to be. Because the same is true on the negative side. If we convince ourselves we're going to lose at something, or we convince ourselves we're not going to do well at something, chances are we're going to lose, or we're not going to do very well. I think that's just as easy to argue on the opposite side, that when we're looking to something that might be very great to achieve, hard to achieve, but convince ourselves we could get there, chances are we will. Chances are we have a better opportunity to, and even if we don't, we're going to get closer or be that much better of a person, that much better as a fitness individual than we would have been if we told ourselves that we couldn't. And that's my point. Don't convince yourselves you can't. Tell yourselves that you will. And at some point, I think you'll be surprised on how well you do at all that. Things are going well, guys. I've been ignoring the comments. I kind of got into my little rut, and then the drive got off gear. So let me go back to the comments. Once you admit the thing is impossible, you have let yourself have an excuse. Yeah, we went through that, and you're absolutely right. People often think they are too old to start again. I remember thinking I can't compete with the younger folk. It held me back for years, and the truth is I wasn't even that old. That's an interesting point. You know, what defines old? If you're 50, are you old? What if people were living to be 300? Would 50 be old anymore? No, of course not. You'd be a young buck. You'd be like a teenager. It's perspective. You know, I always say forget your age as a number and focus on how you feel inside. And if you convince yourself that you can continue to enjoy life, you're still going to have that youthful spirit. You'll be surprised on how much better shape you get in if you continue to enjoy life and have a youthful spirit. What do I mean by youthful spirit? I mean, get outside, go for a hike, go travel, get into fitness, go swim, go kayaking, do things that most young people should be doing right now. But oftentimes they squander it away on video games and staying inside. I'm not against video games, relax. Don't get your butt hurt. But hey, there's nothing wrong with going outside and enjoying what the wonders and the beauties that we can do when we're out there. And that's another thing about fitness. That fitness is ageless. You can be as fit as your body allows you to be for the rest of your life. And yeah, age tends to play a factor down in the long run, but there's some people in their 80s and 90s that can do some things that people in their 20s can't do. And that is true, and I mean that in fitness. You can look that up and Google it. I won't waste your time with that right now, but it's definitely a fact. Fitness is a mindset. McGregor has been playing, reading through some things. Do they have a vision like you? Yeah. The vision has a lot to, that's a good point. I think that refers back to my statement when you're asking people for advice. The vision is the big point. The vision is the drive, and the drive is the passion. So those are all really interrelated. The vision is kind of your target. Like you never lose track of that target. And the moment you're pushed off that target, you start to go into a course where you're going to crash. So the vision is important. That drive is basically that passion. They're related. It means when emotions are all over the place, the passion takes over and continues you on target. That's why I don't really believe in motivation. I think we can be motivated, and I think motivation is usually enhanced through a solid vision and a very passionate drive. But we shouldn't be moved by motivation. So yeah, if you're seeking advice from somebody who doesn't have that same vision as you, they're going to give you advice based on their visions. And if their visions are to sit at home and eat bonbons on the couch and watch TV all day, well, guess what? They're going to give you advice like that. I don't know why I changed my disposition there, but I don't know how else to react to that. Because to me, that's not useful at all. And even the youth will sit in front of television all day and eat potato chips or eat junk food, and they'll squander away years of their life because they really don't have that vision. So keep that in mind. That's very important that you sustain a vision and you continue to remind yourself what the vision is. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make is that they don't write down their goals. If you want to lose 20 pounds, write it down. Don't just say you want to lose 20 pounds. Write it down. I mean it. Literally, when this video ends, if you're watching now, get a piece of paper, write down what a small goal that you want to set, write it down, and remind yourself every day until you accomplish it. Once you accomplish it, rip that one off the pad of paper and write down another goal. And if you want to, here's what I do. I have a pad of paper of several small goals and ones that I want to accomplish in order. And once I do, I rip that page off, I put it somewhere else. I don't throw it away, I put it back in my little hat. So to remind myself, hey, I achieved this, then I can achieve that. And it's essentially taking steps towards your big vision. And at the end of the pad of paper that you have, put in the very back your major goal. Because it's those little things that you chip away time and time again, day after day, rep after rep, going into the gym when you don't want to go in. But all those days, they add up. They add up to the bigger goal for you to be arrogant like Conor McGregor. Nothing against Conor McGregor, like I said. It's going to be an interesting fight. I'm excited about it. What's the gym situation looking like? That's a good question. Kind of on a sidebar, people are asking me about the gym. I've been getting private messages hoping that is going well. Expect something soon. That's all I'm going to say. I'm relaxed. I'm ready to go. And coming soon to a gym near you. So, yeah, things are all good. I appreciate you guys. But I'm excited about that. Next comment! Finally here, crazy morning. I want to be that 80-year-old in the gym. Boom! Yeah, me too. If I live that long, I want to be the 80-year-old doing pull-ups and burpees and, I don't know, throwing things over my head. That'd be exciting. And that's one of the benefits of fitness is that you can accomplish, I mean, honestly, those people who are old in societies. Why do people do this? This like hashtag. I do it too, though. But whatever. Old in the quotes, unquotes idea. But they literally pull off things that the young are like, whoa, I can't even do that. So yeah, I can see you. Paprika made that comment. I can see Paprika being 80 and doing crazy things in the gym, being amazing. I like your vision too, Mitra. I appreciate that. Yeah, vision is important, and find other people that you appreciate their vision, and those are the people you associate with. If you want to feel young, hang out with youthful people. I'm not suggesting you hang out with younger people. They may not be youthful. I think a youthful thing is somebody who is into basically always moving, taking advantage of the time. That carpe diem thing, seizing the day. I'm being lame. It's Friday. Come on, give me a break. It's Friday. Woohoo! Everyone stop for a second. I don't care if you're at work or if you're in your car. Well, don't stop in the car. Just kind of keep driving. But stop in the thought process for a second and just look back on the week and say, hey, you're still here. Perhaps things you didn't think you were going to make it through, you made it through. It's the end of the week, and here you are. So you should be proud of yourself with that. If you had a bad week, if you had a bad fitness week, if you had a bad nutrition week, get it out. Who cares? It's over with. I mean, why dwell on it? Focus on today, and focus on the weekend, and then focus on the future. Write down your goals if you haven't been writing down your goals. That's very important. You can start fresh every day. People talk about, I'm going to get here. I want to do this, someday that, blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's annoying. It's annoying because these people never do anything. The starting line is right at your feet. It's not tomorrow. It's not a week from now. There shouldn't be a date set for a starting point. It should start right now, right at your feet. If you know something isn't going right, correct as much as you can today, even if it's just one thing. If your one thing was, all right, I'm gonna stay off some sugar today. Maybe not all of it, but some of it. Then guess what? You're at a start. You write down the goal. Today, instead of eating pancakes for breakfast, I'm gonna have, I don't know, lean proteins, fruit, and some seeds and nuts, and some water to go with it. There you go. That's a minor goal, right? But it's a minor goal that puts you on a path to a better flight, a better destination to reach something more inspiring. And guess what? Let's face it. Even though healthier foods aren't as exciting, you feel better after you've had that. I've never regretted eating healthy, trust me. But snorting down pancakes, even though, come on, who doesn't love pancakes? Yeah, sometimes you're like, yeah, I probably should have laid off a few of those. Come on, let's be honest. It's okay, but just focus on what's important right now. Yesterday means nothing. When I first joined yoga classes and found myself among a group of people of the age of 50 and older doing head and handstands, I felt so bad for myself being so lame and weak. I'm assuming you're younger, and that's good. It's good for the youth to be, I don't know, humbled. I was humbled several times in my life by somebody older than me, and it's good for us. But it also inspired me, and hopefully it inspired you to say, hey, that person stayed dedicated, and this is where they were able to go in their life, and this is what they were able to accomplish. And I would say that you're on the right track. The fact that you're in yoga classes and you're focusing on your fitness. When I'm not assuming you're 20, but I'm just going to say when I was 20, it wasn't as popular. Fitness was getting there, but it wasn't like it is today. And people didn't understand why I spent my Friday nights in the gym. They didn't get it. And there was people my age that didn't see it. And people older than me say, well, I remember when I was like you, but now when you reach my age, it just isn't possible. And I'm talking like an old guy because this was coming from somebody who was in their 30s. I'm in my 30s now, and I'm here to tell you I'm in better shape than when I was in my 20s, and I was focused on fitness then. Don't listen to people who talk to you like that. Luckily, I didn't listen to them, and I was so associated with people who were into fitness that I'm just like, well, I'm not going to be like you. Don't let somebody impose their poor lifestyle as a way of being your benchmark. That's just ridiculous. All right, moving on. Today's a new day, and your attitude determines the kind of day you will have. Man, come on, don't bring that shenanigans. That's true. It's 100% true. Some days I want to wake up and I want to kick every pigeon in the city. We have a lot of pigeons in the city. Don't get me wrong. I know it's not good. I understand that, but meaning I'm in a bad mood. If I've convinced myself I'm going to stay in a bad mood, guess what's going to happen? Yeah, grumpy ears coming up, horns coming out, and the snarl comes down, and I stay in my bad mood. Well, it's something that simple that can be an utter destruction towards my goals. The way you can control your mind, and we talked about that before, but your mind plays a big part. Positivity plays a big part in the direction of your future. And even if it's just for the future of your day, it could be very destructive. So that's actually a very good point. Hey, it's a new day. Even if things are bad, take the time to just smile. Think about one thing that you accomplished in the past and say, hey, I've been through that. I could go through this. That's why I keep the goals. The ones you rip off the pad of paper, you put it in your little cookie jar. Well, guess what? You go back to that. You refer to it occasionally and say, all right, I handled it. I can handle more. I handled that. I can handle this. And I can handle more. And my goals, all of a sudden, what seemed to be impossible or seems to be impossible from other people, I have created a possibility in my mind because I have vision. I have vision. And if you believe in yourself, even if you don't achieve it, it doesn't matter because something's going to be accomplished. You're going to be a better person because you'll learn from it. You'll learn more things from how not to do something or how to get in better shape or a better avenue, or you can literally motivate somebody else who has the same idea. Now, being vague, because I don't know what your ideas are, I'm assuming most of them are fitness-based, but I want you to focus it on you, though. Bring it on your internal side, and this is what you create in yourself to make you better. And if you do that, then the rest of it will start to exude outside and people will see it. I did a video a while back, it was like a year ago, and I asked a question, could fitness change the world? It's kind of a ridiculous thought, but if you think about it, there's some merit to it. Because think about all the people when you were working out that saw you get into shape and they saw your disposition change. They saw you pull your shoulders back, your chest out, your chin up, you're proud, you're confident, and somebody's like, I want to be like you. What did you do? And all of a sudden you have this sphere of influence of people that have been impacted by your fitness success. And by doing that, they've had better attitudes because they've been released with dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin, all these things that make you feel better about you. And then thus you turn around and you're better towards somebody else. So essentially, it could make the world better if people were to truly be dedicated and focused on it, and then happy to share it with others. Here's the thing about fitness, people. We love it so much. We recognize how good it is for our bodies, for our minds, for our souls, that we want to share it. It puts us in that disposition. So, yeah, I think it can make the world better. We should probably send some fitness videos to politicians. Okay, moving on. This was another comment there. That's about as political as I'll get right now. Every day might be a struggle to have that good attitude towards fitness, especially in the beginning, because of all the old habits you're trying to change. My goodness, that's so true. Which reminds me of another thing. Thank you for that comment, because we'll probably close on that. Appreciate the comments coming in. I'm a little earlier today. I'm gonna probably try to be earlier in the future on Fridays. Get it out of the way. Let people gather their thoughts and enjoy the weekend. Doing later vlogs on Friday, I don't know how good that is. We'll see. Tell me your thoughts. Anyway, let's go back to that though, because you start to go back to your bad habits. Don't overwhelm yourself. That's what I'm saying. Focus on the little things. If you're new to fitness, don't worry about nutrition right now. I mean that. Don't worry about nutrition. Focus on fitness. They're separate entities. Even though they're connected, they're both crafts that are very hard to manage, to discipline, and to incorporate in your life, especially when you're used to years of a different mindset. So focus on fitness first and get that intact. Then go to nutrition and try to embrace the difficulties of nutrition. Nutrition's a bear. It's hard to struggle with. It's hard to beat. It's truly hard to stay disciplined with nutrition because nobody around us is disciplined. You're trying to eat, lean salads and someone's like chomping on, I don't know, yummy stuff. Focus. All right. But you see my point, especially on the weekends when you want to enjoy that. Enjoy it. Enjoy it so you can still enjoy fitness. The idea is to develop that habit, so that's a great point. All those old habits need to be broken. Well, in order for that to happen, you have to find ways to make it fun. You know, I mean, if I have to do a workout in a clown suit for you, I'll do it. Just leave it in the comment section below. I can't stand clowns though, so pick something else. All right, that's all I got today, guys. I appreciate the comments. If I overlooked a comment, I apologize. I tried not to. Little update on things. So the website is doing okay. Still a few glitches. I'm going to work on that today. I know everything in the free is not all free right now, but I'm going to try to fix all the rest of that today. I couldn't zero it down to the glitches that were not pulling up. I was able to do that last night, and so now I can fix it today. There's still online training. Those spots are back up. I know last week I said they were booked. They were, but now I was able to free some more spots open. Eventually, it is going to be booked for good until like somebody else stops. Then we'll bring some new people in. But yeah, if you're interested in online training where we have conversations, but it's just one-on-one. I customize workouts for you. I customize nutrition for you, and we talk about your plan for the future. Click it on the link below. Check out the website. Also, check out the website anyway. Become a free member, and there's programs and there's recipes on that. With glitches right now, but you guys have been patient with me, so I appreciate that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Always remember, eat healthy, train hard, most especially have fun. I'm Relentless Jake. You remember to stay focused, stay dedicated, and have a good weekend, and I'll see your beautiful faces next time, same place, maybe, same channel. And I'm out! Boom! And then we'll sit here and we'll talk about the weekend. One more comment. Nutrition is not impossible. Yeah. And Paprika's scared of clowns. You're right, nutrition is not impossible. I'm not scared of clowns. I think it's just impossible for me to like them. Except for the Joker. I like him. But he's more of a Joker. He's not a clown. Are Jokers clowns? All right, I'm done.